Well, as you can see, I've had a bit of an accident. Yesterday I was reaching to pick up the dog bed and I hit my hand on the TV cabinet, like this. Classic injury. And as you can see, it's cracked. The nail polish has cracked across here. So that's taken the shock of the impact. So I'm not sure what's happened underneath. So I'm going to have to take the nail polish off and just have a look. It could well be that it's just the nail polish that's taken the impact and that the nail underneath is okay. So I need to have a look at that and then possibly apply a silk wrap patch on that. So first of all, I shall remove the nail polish and then we'll have a look. So it still looks like there's a crack there. Now there's an old patch on this, so what I shall do is I shall remove that and then have a look, because it could be that the glue has taken the crack. The nail underneath might be okay. So I shall remove this patch, have a look at it, and if I think if it still seems to be a crack there, which could just be on the first sort of couple of layers of nail on the top, but to strengthen that then I'll probably put on another patch. But let's just remove that and then see what we've got. So yeah, you can see it has cracked the top layer of nail. So I'm going to have to, in order to save this, I'm going to have to put a silk wrap patch on it. It's a little bit rough on the edges here, so I'm just going to buff that off slightly first, and then I'll apply the silk wrap. There's the very, very fine high grit buffer. It's 1000 grit, so it's very, very fine, and I just want to take just the roughness of it. Now I started using this nail glue instead of super glue, which I have used previously, and I find this is a lot better. In the past, the nail glues that I've used haven't been very strong and haven't worked very well, but this is one that is highly recommended. It's quite expensive, but it was definitely worth the money. It's really good, and it comes with a brush for ease of application, so that's much better. Say in the past I've used ones, particularly ones with the brush, and they've not been very strong at all. But this one is really good. It's much better than the super glue, because I find when you remove nail polish, when you've polished your nails over it, and you remove the nail polish with non-acetone nail polish remover, it makes the glue go white, and you have to buff it off until it sort of comes smooth again. And I think it doesn't last as long. It tends to be more brittle, I think, and it breaks off more easily. But I found that this one, since I've been using this one, it's a lot stronger. So this is what I'll be using now. And this is Superstark Nailbond NYK1 Professional. And I bought this off Amazon. And I think for strength, what I'll do is I'll apply 2 layers of silk wrap. I find this is the best silk wrap that I've found, which is by the edge, because I like this one particularly because it becomes transparent, as you can see. When you put the nail glue on it, you just can't see it at all, whereas some of them stay white. So you don't want that, because it means that you can't then use a sheer polish, you have to use a coloured polish. So this is a lot better. You don't notice it really with this one. But like I say, for strength, I'm going to add another layer. So 1 layer here with glue, and then another layer, particularly over this little bit at the top where the crack was, and then a couple more layers of glue. And I always find I tend to have problems with my middle fingers. I suppose that's the one that sticks out. So when you're reaching for something, that's the one that's going to hit. So on both hands, I often have problems with my middle fingers. But it's difficult. Sometimes this just happens. I try and do things with my hands bent like this so they don't knock into things, but it can't be avoided sometimes. Okay, that feels dry. And I shall lay that slightly higher than the other one so that I get a graduated width on the, so it's not too much of a step between the nail and where the wrap is. So it graduates it a bit more, but it still covers the area where the split is. Quite often you'll be fine with just one layer, but because this is split quite a way, I need that extra strength. That's dried now, so what I'm going to do now is apply a further coat. That's dry. So I'm going to do, I think I should do one more coat on top of that, so that it's not so bumpy here, so that when I file it, when I buff it off, it's more of a gradual gradient there and you won't notice it. So one more coat, I think, of glue before I start the filing. Also, I find when applying with a brush, it goes on thinner. So you need to put on a couple more coats. Okay, so that's dry. So I'm just going to trim this down a bit and then I will start buffing this off. So now I've got the general shape there. I'm going to go over with this buffing block. Just lightly go over it. Just to smooth it over. And now I should go over with my fine grit file again. And basically I just keep on going until it feels nice and smooth and I can't feel a bump here from the nail to where the fix is. And have a look at that, look at the shape, and I'll just file it a little bit more. Nice and smooth now. And it's solidified that crack. That'll make it a bit stronger, stop that from getting any worse. So I shall now repolish this one and come back and you can see how it looks. And that's the result after polishing. You really can't tell the difference. So that's that fixed, and I can now get on with my day. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.